Hey, hi guys, welcome back. All right, so singles, this is a single storyline. So these are the ones where we assume that our character is completely single. So sometimes these still have to do with romance, sometimes they do not. It's always variable. So they're one of my favorite of the series that I do just because I never know what we're going to get. I tend to always put these out on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. This Friday we missed one because I was unable to do any videos at all. I was having a rough go with my lungs. And so I didn't do any videos on Friday, so sorry that we missed Fridays this week. But we're back, and here we go. Let's see what we get. So we start out with Six of Swords. Now, this Six of Swords is, to me, this is a card that is not the way we usually view the Six of Swords, which should be a card of like moving on, moving forward. But you notice that we've got a person who is unable to move forward. They can see the open window, but there's like chain link over the window. So although they should be able to escape, they're sitting here feeling very much stuck right where they are. Now that can just be a mindset, right? But this is the need to free ourselves so we can move beyond this trapped environment. But we do have a person feeling pretty trapped and knowing that they would like to move onward. They want to liberate themselves. They want to go into the sunlight. We got the devil in the reverse, which would normally be someone who is not trapped in anything, right? But sometimes it's not that easy. Sometimes we can say, well, I'm ready to be over this. I'm no longer held by this, but this could just represent someone's mindset. So swords are kind of the way we think and the way we communicate. And this could be a person who is still under the impression that I'm thinking negative thoughts when in fact the negativity is actually already over. We've already been liberated, but it's almost like our character doesn't know it yet. That or our character does not realize that whatever whatever force was influencing their life, they might get some really good news. Honestly, the good news could be coming in within the next day or something, that something they thought they were going to be trapped in is not going to go that way after all. We never know what News Monday brings, right? A long weekend can bring about all kinds of different things the next day. But this is actually a very encouraging card. And I kind of feel like we've got a character who's like, I'm seriously at my wit's end. Like, all I want is for things to be smooth and calm. I don't want to feel like I'm stuck in somebody else's, fun house. I want my own personal choices to be my own personal choices. I don't want to be beholden to the whim of someone else. It almost looks like something is going to come in, and whomever was power tripping, is their power is going to be stripped from them. I think our lead character is going to get some really great news here, that they are not beholden to someone else anymore. Tell me more about this. Tell me about that devil card in the reverse. It's terrific. Seven of Wands came out in the reverse, which is, yeah, there's no more obstacles here. There's no more problem. We've got the Page of Wands sideways. We've got the Ten of Pentacles in the reverse. So if somebody was holding on to uh, someone's money, they were making it impossible for a character to actually access what should rightfully be theirs. Um, they don't have that power anymore. Now, how does somebody release that power? Um, in this case, it could simply be that they didn't release the power, but rather our lead character will have a change in their mindset where they go, now, wait a second. Why don't I just choose to walk away from this situation? Maybe it means I have to walk away from that that those finances that maybe should have been mine, but honestly, the cost of my freedom is worth it. If it means I don't have to deal with this person again, you know what? There's my freedom. I can pack up my suitcase and I could actually leave. Oh, well, there's a major breakthrough. I don't have to deal with this. Now, might it come at a cost? Yes, it could, because not everything turns out fair, but the act of releasing ourselves from something that is unfair and making us miserable, sometimes that is well worth the cost of whatever we had to pay. Like, for example, I will use myself as an example. I have had situations in life before where it was not okay, what an employer did or what a landlord did. But you know what? In the end, it was worth it for me to not have to deal with them anymore. So you don't always win but somehow you are the winner when you don't have to mess with those kinds of people anymore. There are times to just walk away, to just say, my sense of, personal time well spent moving onward is, I'm going to be happier if the further I put between myself and this mess. Oh well, yep, they held on to some money that should have been mine. They didn't pay me fair. It didn't work out right. But you know what? At least I don't have to deal with them anymore. So better than me fighting for it. There are times that it's like you weigh the pros and cons and you just go, my freedom matters more than this. I don't have to deal with them. That is my gift. And I would have gladly paid to get that situation wrapped up. So that's how I imagine it all worked out. They might have swindled me out of $200, but you know what? I would have paid that much not to have to talk to this person anymore. I always chalk it up that way. Did I really come out the loser? Nah, because I would have paid that much to be done with them. They lost me. I didn't lose them. It's like there are situations in life like that where you've got to look at it differently. So it could be as simple as that our character is going to see it in a different light. But that's just one example. Now, this may be, like I said earlier, this could actually be that whomever was doing something unfair to our lead character, it's going to turn out that they don't have the power to keep doing that unfair thing. It could be that they wind up being told, oh, no, you don't. Sometimes things change when other people discover what's been going on. And it's like, no, they don't get to call the shots. They don't get to hold on to someone's money. It feels like it was about money and abundance. This could have been within a family. This could have been within like inheritance. This could have been anything to do with the aspect of abundance. And if someone were holding on to someone else's abundance, it looks like there's going to be a nice shift in power structure there. But like I said, there's a lot of ways to look at that. Is it our lead character who just releases this and thus releases themselves from this bondage and is like, I'm just glad I don't deal with this anymore. I'm letting it all go. Or is it that, a higher authority is coming in and telling someone else, you don't get to withhold that from our lead character anymore. Let's take a look. Ace of Cups. Well, Ace of Cups is about that higher perspective. It's about love. It's about self-love. It's about being able to choose the things going to fill our cup. I'm going to wager to bet that the major breakthrough here for our lead character is that they choose the path that is going to actually bring them the greatest sense of peace, because we see a dove flying overhead and the light bulb, and their heart is right there in their own cup. I feel like this is a character saying, you know what? If I've been dealing with somebody who's really difficult, why don't I go ahead and make a choice for me, for my peace of mind? Why don't I go ahead and I'm going to be my own best friend right now. And I'm going to say, I deserve to move on from this mess and just let it go. And I know that I'm sacrificing, money that it's not fair that they're holding it back from me, but I deserve peace and happiness. So I'm doing right by me and my heart. And that is already going to be starting to feel way more fulfilled. I think this is a person who we could say is taking the higher road, but they're looking at it in such a wonderful mindset. It's like, no, I'm doing this for me. I'm making the right choice because I love myself enough not to put myself through this. So I really think that our lead character is just letting it go. And I think that's the key to them not being trapped in this. Wow, Hanged Man. They see it from a different perspective. That's all it is. I have the strength to release it because that's how strong a person I am. That's where the key is. I need to look at this situation from a different perspective. I have the strength to battle on and fight for what's mine, or I have the strength to say, I can walk away and I can make my life better. And I think that is our character thought long and hard about this. Okay, so what is the net result of this, right? Because we have a character who is, I totally applaud them. That's like remarkable that this person is King of Cups. I said, what is the net result of this? Our character, I think, immediately feels relaxed. They immediately feel emotionally better. They immediately, like the sense of relief that washes over them. Now, here's the thing. Also, when a character kind of takes that high road. They take the peaceful road. They decide to free themselves from dealing with someone who is never going to treat them with fairness. And some people flat aren't. Some people are always going to be out to swindle. It's just the way they operate. But when our lead character says, and that's why my life is better off not dealing with them, I'm not going to invest my time and energy in that because I deserve better. I deserve to walk away from this headache. They not only immediately feel this wonderful sense of relief, but they also may have other wonderful like reactions. And I say that because we have a King of Cups that's like submerged in water. And what happens when we drop something in water? It creates a ripple effect, right? I feel like this is a positive, like we're plopping ourselves in like a wonderful, cool, serene pond. And if we do that, it's like our character gets like a little wave reaction of, a ripple effect of things that go outward and then, rush back in toward them. I feel like this is a really positive ripple effect. This could start to bring more benefit to our character, nicer people into their world. I'm trying really hard. We see a heart right there. This is just the outline of a human, but they don't have clothes on. So that's the only reason I'm covering it up, even though it's not anything that's like showing nudity, but still, I just, we all got to be careful with what shows. So I'm just being very sensitive, we'll say. We have an 8 of Wands in the reverse. It's an interesting message because it's like the act of releasing something is the act of like going into a state of inertia, right? Not taking action. This 8 of Wands in the reverse says our character didn't take action. They did the reverse. They relaxed everything, and it's with that sense of relaxation. They don't have to lift a finger now. Good stuff simply flows toward them because they quit holding on to the bad stuff. Imagine if we had been holding on tightly to, anything, and then we just simply open our hands up. Not only do we let go of whatever the unsavory, I think it's like we've been holding on to a stinky, smelly, like disgusting gym towel, and instead we let go of it. Not only did we just let our hands open up and we're not holding that nasty gym towel anymore, but our hands are now open for somebody to maybe come by and give us some sanitizer wipes. Maybe our hands can now be handed a nice beverage or a cookie or something nice that somebody wants to give us instead. It's kind of like that. Like the universe says, you had the power to let go of something that was not fair, that was not nice, that was nothing but a struggle. And you released it, releasing yourself from that negativity. And now that your hands are open, I can deposit something wonderful into your hands. You don't have to do anything. Just stand there with your hands open and be ready to receive. That's the message for this one, especially because of that King of Cups. And I like the fact that our character doesn't have to do anything right now. Page of Swords, 5 of Coins. Oh, so this is not to be mean-spirited. I don't read Vindictive because I don't think it's a good idea, but I will say this. Every action has a reaction. Our lead character took the high road and chose peace. One of the things that is kind of like a gift from the universe, one of those things is going to come back into their hands is, I think our character not too long from now may hear through the grapevine that whatever that difficult person was that kept being unfair, their greed, because I do feel like this is somehow to do with like money or resources. Whomever was being greedy with our lead character, I think our lead character is going to find out through the grapevine that person's had a real negative turn of fortune. So whatever they greedily tried to hold on to from our lead character, it's not going to work out. They're actually going to wind up having a lot less success in their lives. So whatever they hoarded or kept unfairly, they're not going to be able to profit off of it because it's like ill-gotten booty. And it's almost like the universe is going to see to it that, guess what, that money that you withheld from our lead character, we're going to make sure it gets deposited in somebody else's pockets because that's the balancing act of the universe. And I just feel like our lead character is actually going to find that out. And I'm not saying that should make somebody happy, that like, it didn't work out for you. All of your theft or all of your, naughty doings have backfired on you. But then it is a bit of a gift from the universe. It's like taking the wrong approach and doing the wrong thing that kind of greed, if that's what this is all about, somebody who's greedy with our lead character and unfair with them, and our lead character just said, forget it, keep it, I'm never going to get you to treat me fair. It's like, but that person will have their own karma to pay. And in this case, it's coming in the form of them losing the very thing they were so greedily, taking that wasn't theirs. So it is a situation where this character is going to have a turn of events, because the Five of Coins is a loss of, they may lose their own, career path or something. They're going to be humbled is what it looks like, because they needed to learn a lesson about you don't do that kind of stuff, or it does kind of come back around. So Temperance, again, it's just about the balancing of the universe. An action has a reaction. And let's put it this way. I don't mean to sound so mean-spirited, but if a person who did our lead character dirty needed to learn, you don't do that. You don't swindle people. You don't take stuff that isn't yours just because you think you can get away with it, because the universe will level the playing field at some point, simply in the form of, like, maybe they build such a bad reputation for themselves that no one wants to deal with that person anymore. And that in turn is how they've created their own bad karma. I don't look at karma as like, oh, the universe comes in and punishes. I think actions have reactions. That's how I look at karma. And so this is all about the balancing of the scales. It's such a great message of knowing that our character doesn't have to get stressed out. They don't have to hold on to bitterness, and they really will be better and lighter for letting things go. And down the road, they'll probably hear through the grapevine that person who caused them a lot of grief actually has, they may wind up with an apology. But they may find out through the grapevine that person had to learn about their karma the hard way. This is a Five of Cups. I do think that someone is, if this is about money, family stuff, inheritance stuff, I think that they're realizing they lost a lot more when our lead character walked away from this. They walked away from the relationship that they had with this person as well. And I think this person is really mourning the loss of that relationship, even more than whatever other karma they have faced. So somebody's learning a pretty harsh lesson, but it was amazing because first our lead character learns the lesson of how to let go. Our character ends with this High Priest. The High Priest is, in this deck, this is our Taurus energy of the Hierophant. That's our connection to our higher self. This is just a simple story of a character who they take the high road. They listen to their higher self. They ask themselves the important questions. What is in my best interest to do? Not necessarily what is fair, what is right on the earthly human plane, but rather what is the better choice for me, for my growth? What action should I take? It is to go ahead and always move towards something lighter and brighter, even though that can be hard to do sometimes. But I think our character is like really feeling at the end of the storyline, they actually are really seeing the benefit of choosing that path. I think their life is much better. They may even wind up in a much happier relationship, a much happier, like they're proud maybe of the fact that I know now that I stand for something. I operate the way I really believe I should. I don't get mean-spirited and go rolling in the mud with people. I really try to go high instead of, like get caught up in vindictiveness. And I think that's an amazing character. It's an amazing message that this character has that kind of strength. So it's really nice. I think that this character may also end up in a really fine relationship. This could be a long-lasting marriage. I feel like our character has shown that they really believe in something. They believe in trying to live by some kind of a creed. And this was, I don't want to say it was a test, but I just think that this character had an opportunity to like really ask themselves, who am I? What do I really believe? I'm going to go with what I really believe, which is don't be vindictive, let go and move on. And I think that's exactly what this character was all about. They were the real deal. They are who they thought they were. And that's really beautiful. All right, guys, I'm going to leave that one there. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. Lots of love. I see notifications are late. You guys, I'm sorry. I don't know how to fix that. It's just kind of a YouTube thing, but I'm still always honored that you guys are here. Lots of love, everybody. I've got a couple of other videos to still put out tonight, so I'll see you guys in a few of those, okay? Bye for now.